Hello and welcome to our presentation today on a comparative study of material religions of Our Lady of Velankanni feast celebrations in India and Malaysia. We are very happy and privileged today to share with you the findings of this study. I am Dr. Melissa Perry from the Institute of Ethnic Studies, National University of Malaysia. And with me today is the lead researcher of this research, Reverend Father Dr. James Ponaya from the Department of Christian Studies, University of Madras, Tamil Nadu, India. We would first and foremost like to begin our presentation by acknowledging Reverend Deacon Professor Dr. Sherman Quek, who is the Professor of Theology and Dialogue at Christe, the Christian Institute of Theological Engagement. This research would definitely not be possible without the support and encouragement of Professor Dr. Sherman, as well as the funding provided by Christie's Endowment Fund of the Cornelius Cardinal Sim Professorial Chair in Theology and Dialogue. These grants provided by Christe are meant to give impetus to the furtherance of knowledge in aspects of Christian theology, as well as ecumenical and interfaith dialogue. Over to you, Father.
So friends, first let me introduce you to the research. Our research is basically looking at how material Catholicism functions in Catholic Christianity. We will introduce the idea of material religion a little later. We employed ethnographic methods, which involves participating in what people do, what we call as participant observation. We conducted interviews and we analyzed the materials that people use during Christian piety. Our study is a comparative transnational study, as we had two sites that we studied. One in India, the Basilica of Velankanni, and another in Malaysia. During our research, we very closely observed various material objects that Catholics use, such as flags, the pongal they cook, the Mada sari they offer to Mother Mary, and people take it back and wear it at home, and the pilgrim walk they undertake, and the procession they do for Mother Mary. All these different material aspects we observed and documented during our research conducted for a month. To give an overview of what we have done, the research has come to conclude that material religions serve as very powerful vehicle for personal devotion, communal expressions of faith, filial piety, and religious nostalgia, and many more. Over to you, Alicia.
Thank you, Father. So the next section is on what is material religion. So to introduce, Catholicism is rich with various materials that we use as sacred objects to enhance our faith. So in Christianity, the Catholic Church definitely stands out for its rich tradition of incorporating various material elements or liturgical materials that we use in our religious practices at Mass, in our prayers at home. And these help us to reflect on the importance of sensory experiences, and they help us to foster a deeper connection with the divine. Each of us have a special connection with the specific materials like rosaries or the crucifix or the scapula. So material religion is a new approach in the field of religious studies, and not enough attention perhaps has been given to this area. So this area of study believes and looks at how religious beliefs and practices are mediated through tangible objects, materials, as well as rituals. So as mentioned previously, in Catholicism, these materials such as the holy water, crucifix, holy oils, incense, rosaries, candles, flowers, palms, flags, medal statues, and many, many more. They all serve as vehicles for personal intentions, individual devotions, as well as they also represent the communal expression of faith of a particular faith and religious community. And in many times, they function as bridges to the divine power. So let me move on to introduce the sites of our study in this research. So as mentioned previously, the main shrine, which is the Shrine Basilica of Our Lady of Velankanni, Nagapattinam, Tanjavur district, in the state of Tamil Nadu, India. This was also, ethnographic study was also conducted in this main shrine. And two other shrines, which are known as the satellite shrines, linking back to the original Velankanni shrine in Velankanni, which is the Anne Velankanni shrine in Besanagar in the city of Chennai in Tamil Nadu, as well as in Kuala Lumpur, the Chapel of Our Lady of Good Health, also known as Chapel of Velankanni, in a small village of Kampung Pandan in Kuala Lumpur city. So these are the images of the three sites in which these studies were conducted. So a little bit of a background on the Shrine Basilica of Our Lady of Velankanni, located in Tamil Nadu. It is a coastal location where it is believed that the three Mother Mary, there were three apparitions of the Blessed Virgin Mary in the 16th century, where she appeared to a shepherd boy, buttermilk vendor, as well as to Portuguese sailors. So the shrine is established and located within the Diocese of Tanjavur, and it became an independent parish in 1771. And His Holiness Pope John raised the shrine to the statue of Basilica in 1962. So the shrine is a national shrine in Velankanni, and it attracts pilgrims and visitors from across religious and cultural and geographical backgrounds, not only from India, but from around the world. So the key event is the feast celebrations, which takes place coinciding with the Nativity of the Blessed Virgin Mary on the 8th of September. But it begins with the starting of the flag, which is hoisting of the flag, which is done on the 29th of August annually. So Our Lady of Velankanni in India is also known as Our Lady of Good Health, and also referred to as the Lords of the East, owing to many pilgrims who seek the intercession of Our Lady of Velankanni, especially for the purpose of their health. And for Tamils in India, Tamil Nadu, and around the world, Our Lady of Velankanni holds a very significant place in their psyche and hearts. And this has therefore led to the establishments of what we refer to as satellite churches, and also celebrations of the Feast of Our Lady of Velankanni in different parts of India, outside and in Tamil Nadu, as well as different parts of the world. And these celebrations are organized by mostly Tamil communities, which have moved away or which are now established in different parts of the world. So, for example, you find the celebration of the feast and also the statue of Our Lady of Velankanni in France in two locations, in Paris and as well as in Pontoise. The feast is also celebrated in the east and west coast of United States of America. Here you see the image of the procession of Our Lady being carried in Philadelphia, as well as the procession during the feast celebrations in Los Angeles, United States of America as well. Celebrations are also held in Australia, where there is a shrine dedicated to Our Lady of Velankanni, as seen in the images in Melbourne, in the state of Victoria, Australia. There's also a beautiful and very uniquely designed church, a Marian shrine of Our Lady of Velankanni, known as the Graha Maria Anai Velankanni, located in Medan, North Sumatra, Indonesia. And this shrine is also a very popular pilgrimage site for people around these parts of the world. In Malaysia, there are various churches and chapels and shrines honoring Our Lady of Velankanni. And the image that we see here is from the selected site of the study from the chapel in Kampung Pandan, Kuala Lumpur. So for this study, the ethnographic method was used, where my lead researcher, Reverend Father James, and I were part of the celebrations as researchers, and this was undertaken during the times of August to September 2022. So we were at the main shrine in Velankanni, as well as in Besanagar and in Kuala Lumpur, and we were able to witness the very significant flag hoisting event, as well as conduct in-depth interviews with pilgrims, priests, and visitors. We were able to observe and document the rituals, the various objects and elements that were part of the feast celebrations offered by the pilgrims. So it was a very significant experience for us, both in terms of research as well as spiritually. So moving on, I will hand over to Father James, who will describe the celebrations that we've observed at the shrine in Velankanni. Over to you, Father James.
So as we see the three pictures that we have, on the screen, to the left we have the flag hoisting, which is a very, very important event, as described earlier. Thousands and thousands of people cutting across religion, cutting across gender, cutting across age groups, different class backgrounds, different caste backgrounds, go to this particular event known as flag hoisting on 29th of August every year. And this flag is a very, very important sacred object. People have tremendous reverence towards this flag. And when the flag is being hoisted, as we witnessed, people are in tears, singing praise to Mother Mary and trying to imbibe this very spirit of Mother Mary as a mother to each one of them. One of the people whom we interviewed said, when he views the flag, his heart goes to God and he experiences a sense of sacredness in his mind and body. The second picture that we see is the offerings that people make to Mother Mary, the material objects. Here we need to understand these offerings, the flowers, the candles, the coconuts, the salt, which is offered to Mother Mary as a gift to her and received back from her as a holy object, which they will carry it home and use it when they are sick and distribute these coconuts to the neighbors, as in Indian term, prasad, as a sacred food to be shared with others. The third picture that you see is the cart procession of Mother Mary chariot. This chariot is taken every day evening during the 9 novena days. The last day, they have a huge, big cart procession that goes around the town of Velankanni. Next slide. The material objects people use are of different kinds. We are trying to show to you some of them on the screen. To the left, you see a small baby cradle. This particular material object is used by people who do not have children. So they come and tie this baby cradle, which is in silver, a small miniature one, with the intention that next year when they come back, they would have a child, baby born to them. More often than not, the pilgrims that we interviewed bear witness to the miracle that took place in their lives. that the children born to them due to the intervention of Mother Mary. The second material object that you see is the silver etchings, which is unique to Velankanni. The silver etchings represent a particular bodily part healed by the intervention of Mother Mary. When you have a lamed hand or a stomach ache or an eye problem, people pray to Mother Mary for healing. And when they are healed, they come to offer these etchings in a dumb box. The third thing that you see is the coconut sapling, which again is a very, very important and a popular material object. Coconut saplings are used for various purposes, one of which is actually to have a child. When you have a child, which is to be born, or when you have a child who is not doing very well in terms of health, people offer this coconut saplings with the intention that as the coconut saplings grow in full strength, so too the child will have a good life as he or she grows. The third set of metal objects that we have shown is a lock and the turmeric thread. The lock represents, in the interview, you came to realize that this lock is for people who are under bad times. They feel that this lock is given to Mother Mary as an offering, by which they will lock all the evil influences in their lives, so that the evil that is affecting their lives will come to an end. Next year, when they come back to the church again, they will unlock the lock and take it home and give it to somebody. The thread, yellow thread, is actually for those couples who do not find enough partners in their lives. So young men and women, when they are yet to find a good partner, they make a prayer to Mother Mary, make a vow, saying that we tie this yellow thread on the flagpole so that Mother Mary will receive their prayers and show a good partner in their lives. All these objects are officially recognized as props for enhancing the faith experience of the Catholics and non-Catholics who come to this shrine. So they are being sold, as we have shown on the fourth picture. They are being sold officially in the shrine outlet in front of the church. Next slide. One of the important events that take place during novena is what we call as pilgrim walk. As you see it in the video. This pilgrim walk is an important sacred act by the people. As I said earlier, we have interviewed so many people who have come on foot, walking hundreds and hundreds of miles from their own villages and towns to this Velankanni shrine. As they walk, they recite rosary, they say Ave Maria, and some of the pilgrims who walk also carry with them a chariot all the way from home through the roads and bylanes of the towns and cities that they go through. To one individual who met with the person said, this is the way we do evangelization of Christianity. As this chariot goes through these streets, people come to know who Mother Mary is, what Christianity is about, the kind of healing power Mother Mary has over thousands and thousands of people. Sometimes they stop the car on the way in front of a particular house, and the people in the home get blessings of Mother Mary from this chariot. Another important thing that takes place is people walking on knees. Velankanni, Nagapattinam, where Mother Mary appeared through 3 miracles, has 2 important shrines, the old shrine and the new shrine. Normally, the new shrine, which is a bigger in size in terms of a space, is a very popular chapel. From this chapel, there is a path leading to the old chapel, where also Mother Mary appeared. So between these 2 chapels, the pilgrims walk on knees, having an intention in their heart. This particular act is done by mostly youngsters who have certain intention in their mind, either of their own siblings who are sick, or the parents who require some job at home, or their own sisters and brothers studying for a particular exam or seeking an employment, or their own personal intentions of coming up in life. All those intentions are the ones which drive them to undertake this walking on the knees. This is again a very, very important material act or event that we observed in Velankanni. Next. These pictures once again give us a variety of cars that are brought to Velankanni from various parts of Tamil Nadu and outside Tamil Nadu even. As I said earlier, these cars which people bring as individuals or as families from their homes to Velankanni is an important development in the last 2 decades that is being framed by some of our participants as a new form of evangelization. Next. From the main Velankanni church at Nagapattinam, now let's move on to the satellite church in Besanagar, which is one of the sites of our study. This Besanagar church is located on the beautiful beach, popularly known as Elliot's Beach on the Bay of Bengal. A priest, Father P.T. Allappa, in one of his dreams, when he was a parish priest of a neighboring parish, had a dream of Mother Mary telling him, please go to this particular beach and there I will show you where you can find me. As he went to this shore, he came across a small statue of Mother Mary of Velankanni being worshipped by the local villagers. From then on, he focused on building a small chapel for Mother Mary, especially for those poor people in Chennai who may not have time and money to go to the Velankanni Nagapattinam, which is about 300 kilometers from Chennai. This particular shrine, which was built in 1972, as seen on the left side, was raised as a bigger chapel, consecrated later. Today, we have a new church, which is seen on the right side, consecrated in the year 2021. And this particular place is raised as a shrine for the whole Archdiocese of Madras Mylapore in the year 2005. And next. Once again, to this particular satellite shrine, we also observed quite a lot of material events. The pilgrim walk we talked about earlier to Nagapattinam Velankanni also happens here to the shrine. On 29th August, on the day when flag is being hoisted in Chennai, once again, the Chennai streets are full of pilgrims walking from different parts of the city to this Besant Nagar. In fact, between 2 to 5 in the evening, the main roads are blocked. No traffic is allowed. No traffic of cars and buses are allowed on 2-3 main arterial roads that lead to this particular church. Only people can go walking during that time on these roads. So that speaks about the popularity of this particular shrine, which is increasingly becoming immensely popular the last 20 years or so. Once again, on the pictures that you see on the left, you have the flag of Mother Mary. This particular flag is a replica of the flag that you see in Nagapattinam Velankanni, a satellite church in its events and symbols and the objects, in fact, replicate the main church, which is at Nagapattinam Velankanni. So likewise, you have the flag, which is very similar to the one that you see in Velankanni. The second picture that you see is the flagpole. In Chennai, we found that the flagpole itself becomes a material, sacred material, an object people venerate and revere. We talked about earlier the yellow thread, which people tie to the pole with a particular intention. The same thing we observed here in this particular flagpole. People tie yellow thread. People keep the small children who are born and offer it to Mother Mary under the pole and take it back. It is as if they are offering the child to Mother Mary, who has given through her blessings the birth of this particular child. The third picture that you see is known as Madi Pichai. Madi Pichai is actually a kind of a form of a begging, which is an important event. You beg from people who come some kind of a offering, and what you collect, you give it to Mother Mary. In some cases, I have heard the money that they collect, with that they will buy food and give it to the poor. The idea is that when you undergo humiliation for the sake of your intention, Mother Mary blesses your act of being humble. Humility is being rewarded with the intention that you pray for. Next. Friends, we also observed quite a lot of other objects material objects of popular piety in Velankanni. The lock I earlier explained, and we also seen people offering salt. We also see people giving rosary. We also see people offering chits. Now, the chits that you see are the intentions people write and tie it to a particular pole in the shrine. Various needs of yours, various requirements and prayers are yours are being written and handed over to Mother Mary as a prayer request to her. We also have candles, a huge candle stand. Once again, candles, people light candles with a particular intention so that their prayers will be heard. In addition to that, we also have seen a Madha sari being offered to Mother Mary. That again is very, very important, activity. When people offer sari, these saris are functioning as sacred objects. People consider this sari as very, very significantly powerful in their lives. People buy the sari and they donate around Mother Mary, and these saris are being auctioned and people buy it back. They buy it back because these objects or this particular sari has a particular significance for women, especially. From the interviews, we came across very interesting data on how important a sari is. One woman said, I use the sari for our well-being. Whenever I was sick, or whenever my family member is sick, or whenever I felt I'm mentally weak or some kind of a giddiness in my mind, I will wear this sari and I feel strengthened. And another person said, when one of her neighbors was sick, or one of her daughters was sick, they will put the sari on the person who is sick, and they get healed because of the sari put on their body. In fact, we came across one interesting case during the interview, who during COVID-19 was able to save his wife precisely because he had this Mada sari at home. When she was in hospital, when the doctors told this man that because of COVID, nobody else can be with her, and she was alone in the hospital. At that point, when the husband felt that she was about to die, he had only one thing that could have saved her, namely the sari. So he went and told the doctor, please put on these sari on her body and we'll keep praying for her. And I'm told the sari that he had put on did work miracle on her. The woman who was supposed to die began reviving gradually, and she was saved eventually. Thus, people consider sari as a gift from Amma, their mother. One woman said, Mother Mary is my mother, I am her daughter. Whenever I wear this sari, I have a mindset which makes me feel that I should behave well, that I should do good things in my life. Therefore, she says, as a result, she only has happiness and joy in her life. Next. The material Catholicism in Chennai is also evident in the cart procession which we have observed. The pictures that I have clicked there and shown is the procession in Chennai. This cart procession is a very, very popular event that takes place on 8th September, the birthday of Blessed Mother Mary. And that day, people drive the car. In fact, they drag the car with a rope, on the streets of Chennai, in front of the church. This particular car procession goes around about 4 kilometers around the church. And when this car is being led on the streets of Bazarnagar, people from home, the Hindus, the Muslims, in fact, in one place I saw a temple priest was waiting to receive Mother Mary. And Mother Mary's statue was passing through, the car procession was passing through. He kneeled down and prayed to Mother Mary. And he was a Hindu temple priest. And the idea in Hinduism is when you see God, actually what you get to do is to see God and to be seen by God. To see God is to seek God's blessing. And to be seen by God is to be offered blessings by God upon you. These are very, very interesting dynamics that takes place in Velankanni. When the statue of Mother Mary is being taken around in procession, what people experience is healing. Healing that is available to all. So when Mother Mary's car is being driven into the streets and bylanes of Bazarnagar, people from different backgrounds, different caste groups, different religious backgrounds, Hindus, Muslims, they await her coming to their homes, to their shops. Many of them come out of their homes. They offer flowers and coconuts to Mother Mary, and flowers to the Mother Mary, and some of them would take back these flowers as an offering back to them from Mother Mary. And these rose petals and coconuts are preserved as sacred objects at home, and they are consumed whenever people feel the need, either when they are sick or when they feel down. They consume this, and they tell us that these sacred objects that they have from Mother Mary, okay, is very, very important in their lives, and they are preserved as sacred and as a special gift from Mother Mary. Next. Over to Malaysia.
Thank you, Father. Thank you so much for that very enlightening and interesting description of what we have observed in Chennai and in Velankanni. So I'll move on to describing our study and research in Malaysia in the city of Kuala Lumpur. So the chapel of Our Lady of Velankanni, okay, was built in 1954 from a grant that was received by Reverend Father and Clement, the parish priest of the then St. Anthony's Church in KL City Parish as well. And the chapel was built to cater to this Tamil Catholic community that lived in this area called Kampung Pandan, which is known as the village. And this area was known as the Indian settlement. And the population of the village consisted of Indian Catholics, Muslims, Hindus, as well as Sikhs. So in 1957, this chapel was inaugurated and named Chapel of Our Lady of Good Health after the shrine of Velankanni in Tamil Nadu. And in 1982, a bigger chapel was built and officially blessed. So over the years, there have been multiple generations of Tamil Catholic families who have who worship at this chapel and who also come together as a community to celebrate the feast of Our Lady of Velankanni. So in terms of similarities that we observed in the feast celebrations at this chapel in Kuala Lumpur, first of all, let us touch on the flag hoisting. So once again, the flag becomes a very significant object and material, a sacred object. The feast, of course, begins with the flag hoisting. As we can see, the flag is first being blessed by the celebrant or the priest. In some cases, the bishop of the diocese, the archdiocese, also join in this flag hoisting celebration to help raise the flag as well. And this flag, when it's raised, and then on the last day of the feast, when it's lowered, evokes a very emotional response, a strong emotional response, similar as what we've observed in Chennai and Velankanni, where people raise their eyes up as the flag is being raised or lowered and pray, and songs are sung by the choir at that time. There's music and tears as well flow. And in this picture at the bottom right corner, we can see how people would even want to touch the flag when it's being lowered and it's being held by a parish priest. The other aspect that is also similar to the celebrations in India would be the procession. So in the context of Malaysia, as a multi-religious, multicultural society, this procession of the statue of Our Lady around the vicinity, consisting of a multi-religious population, is a public demonstration of the Malaysian, Tamil, and Catholic identity of this community. So it is very much awaited by the community. It is the one event where the community of this parish feel that they're able to publicly demonstrate their identity as Catholics, and also walk with Mother Mary in a very prayerful manner. And the interreligious dimensions are also once again come at play here. As mentioned by Father James, the other members of this community, including the Sikh and the Hindu communities who live in that neighborhood, eagerly await the procession of Our Lady every year. And the picture that we see on the right is when the procession passes through this temple, which is the Ganesan temple in Kampung Pandan. And the elders and the religious leaders of this temple also come forward awaiting the procession and to also pay their respects. And similarly, that is done by the Sikh community as well when the procession passes by the Gurudwara. Hindu neighbors and people in the community light candles and wait holding candles as the procession of Our Lady passes through. In terms of material Catholicism in Kuala Lumpur, the uniqueness that we observed at this chapel in Kuala Lumpur, which was not found in the Basilica Shrine in Velankanni as well as in Chennai, was this unique hospitality that was offered by the community of the parish. This is owed to the fact that the people in this chapel live around the neighborhood in the vicinity of the location of the chapel and very much see themselves as host during the feast celebrations to pilgrims and visitors. So the Tamil identity is very prominent in the feast celebrations through these welcoming rituals and ceremonies as seen in these pictures. So these cultural objects such as the sandalwood paste found in this tray, as well as the red kungumam or vermilion powder together with jasmine flowers are adorned on the forehead of pilgrims and visitors and volunteers. So you can also see the participation of this priest of a different ethnic group as well as people from different ethnicities being able to participate in this cultural experience during this feast of Our Lady of Velankanni celebration. So in addition to this cultural experience that is accorded and to the hospitality and welcoming rituals at the celebration, the feast also consists of this cooking of the sweet rice pudding, or which is the pongal, which is done at the beginning on the first day of the celebration in the morning, prior to the flag hoisting and the novena in the evening. So pongal is usually connected to the harvest celebration, which falls in January every year, celebrated by Tamils in India and all over the world in thanksgiving for a bountiful harvest. At this celebration, the rice pudding is cooked and enjoyed by all. At the Chapel of Our Lady of Good Health, Pongal signifies a sweet offering by the parishioners at Mass, as well as which is a sweet dessert that is distributed to all pilgrims and visitors of the parish by the community in celebration of a happy festival and celebration of Our Lady's nativity. The boiling of the milk, which is done in the beginning of the Pongal cooking, is very significant as the milk is connected to the miracle in Velankanni, the apparition of Our Lady of Velankanni, who appeared to the buttermilk vendor requesting for milk for her infant baby. So the community in the morning, where there is a big pot, and this pot is adorned with sandalwood paste, the shape of the cross here, as well as the vermilion paste, as is evident in the pictures. So the community members gather around the pot, and as the milk boils, they sing hymns to Our Lady, as well as say prayers. The clergy and the parish priests also often actively take part in these celebrations and these rituals. So we can see that they are stirring here. We can see the image of our former parish priest stirring the rice as it cooks, and also helping to recite prayers and blessing the pongal and the pot as it cooks. As mentioned before, this is a different aspect that we also observed in Kuala Lumpur, which was not found in Velankanni and Basanagar, which is the distribution of the milk, both freshly boiled milk as well as later on in these days packet milk. As we can see in the image here, there is a specific designated milk station in the area of the chapel, and interviews from a pilgrim on why they have continued this tradition of distributing milk to the pilgrims year after year. And she shared that we continue to distribute fresh milk at the feast to carry on the rituals that my mother began. We boil the milk at home and serve it at Mass on the 8th of September. My mother used to do that for the well being of her kids, so we are now continuing that. So we can see that this particular ritual is done because there is a prayer that's being offered. There is an intention that in offering of the milk that a prayer will be granted. It's also done in thanksgiving, but the ritual is also continued generation after generation as a form of filial piety, honoring the previous generation. So in terms of trying to reflect on the themes that emerged between this comparative study, we look at the key differences in the celebrations in India as well as in Malaysia. And we find that there is a communal and individual expressions in these both places. With the shrine at Velankanni in Chennai, we found that the emphasis very much remains on a personal devotion, and the individual religious materiality is more prominent. That's not saying that there isn't any communal, but what we observed was it was very much individuals coming forward to bring different offerings with their own intentions. Whereas the use of the rituals and the objects at the chapel in Kuala Lumpur, we found was very communal. So the emphasis was on preserving the Tamil communal identity to the rituals and the various objects that was used. And it was also used for the purpose of according hospitality to the pilgrims on the part of the community as a host. And there was this collective religious materiality that we found. So I'll hand over now to Father James to share the research findings in all these three sites. Over to you, Father.
We have a number of themes that came up during the research. Probably in this talk, we will focus on the few. The first is the very shrine itself as a unique sacred space. This shrine space offers people the possibility of mimicking the rituals that they would have performed in the original shrine. As we saw in the pictures earlier, whether it is a log or whether it is offering of coconut or coconut saplings or the yellow thread or the baby cradle, all these rituals were performed, are being performed in all places of satellite churches in Tamil Nadu, especially the two sites that we studied, the Nagapattinam Velankanni, where originally our Mother Mary appeared in apparition and worked miracles. So too in Besanagar, we observe the same rituals. Therefore, this space is a very significant sacred space which attracts people from various backgrounds, especially this particular sites, either in Velankanni or in Malaysia, they are meant to bring people, the Tamil people, who have moved out of their own homes, either from a village in Tamil Nadu to the city of Chennai, or to Malaysia from various parts of Tamil Nadu or elsewhere. So this shrine offers them a place of belonging, a sense of hope, understanding of Mother Mary as a comfort giver, offering solace to them, a sense of protection and safety. The second important aspect of this sacred space, as we discussed earlier, is that it is a site of inter-religious and intercultural engagement. By interreligious, we mean that this is a place where people across religious boundaries, Christians, Muslims, Catholics, Protestants, all of them come and they participate in the rituals to receive the blessings of Mother Mary. By intercultural, we mean it is not a place where only the Tamil people come and worship Mother Mary. It's a place where, Indian context, the Tamils, Malayalis, people from Goa, people from Andhra, people from Maharashtra, these are various states in the nation of India. They all from different cultural backgrounds. They all come to worship Mother Mary and perform these rituals. They make this space of the Velankanni shrine an intercultural space. Similarly, in Malaysia, the shrine which we study also indicates to us that this is a place where people from different backgrounds, from Tamil background, from Chinese background, from Muslim background, from Hindu background, they all come and receive Mother Mary's blessings. Next slide, please. The second finding is that the material objects that are used in these shrines have dual functions. In the first place, they are offered to Mother Mary's as gifts, whether it is a flower or a garland or a sari or a coconut, as a gift brought from home to Blessed Virgin Mary, to honor her in gratitude to what she has given to you. And secondly, these objects also represent the intentions of the people that, that they are praying for. The silver or gold etchings, as I said earlier, represents a particular part of the body which needs to be healed. The baby cot represents the child that they are praying for. The thali or the yellow thread represents the youngsters and their intention to get married. The coconut saplings represent children who need to grow well with the blessings of Mother Mary. Next. The Marian devotion and the objects that are involved in the devotion and the bodily practices like pilgrim walk or walking on the knee or on the knees or praying to Mother Mary for a particular intention or wearing the sari. These are various bodily practices people perform. But these practices and the objects embody very strongly and powerfully the collective and personal meanings that devotees have towards Mother Mary. They are in fact the manifestation of people's belief that it is Mother Mary is their mother, that they have a sense of belonging to her. Therefore, they have a feeling of oneness with the Mother Mary, which drives them to request prayers from her. Just like a child seeks the help of a mother, so too the devotees in Velankanni, either in Chennai or in Kuala Lumpur, approach Mother Mary for various favors because she is the mother who cares for you. The third thing that we said earlier is that it is a shrine which attracts people across various backgrounds, ethnic and religious backgrounds, Malayalis, Muslims, Koreans, Chinese, Hindus, Muslims. The interviews and the testimonies that we have received from people very clearly establishes the idea of Mother Mary is very significant to their religious life. It has led to this relationship with Mother Mary has led to a personal transformation. Many people say that ever since I came to worship Mother Mary, I am a different person. I was so timid earlier, now I am confident. I was a person with all kinds of evil habits. Today, I am a person with a pure heart. I'm a person focused on me and my family and for the well-being of my family and my children. Thus, Velankanni is a place which draws people from across different backgrounds, religious and cultural backgrounds, across people who are poor, who are rich, people who are middle-aged, and people who are young. The children, the grandfather, the mothers, the daughters, the newly married couple, people who are yet to be married. All these people are attracted towards Velankanni because Mother Mary offers what they look for. Over to you, Malaysia.
Thank you, Father. So as we come to the end of our presentation today, I think it's good for us as researchers that we were able to reflect on what can be the lessons that we have learned through this research. And I think one of the things that we took away from this research is this idea of what we look at as religious nostalgia, that there is something that connects us to our religious and faith experiences, and these things or objects are very powerful elements. So we can look at the material religion, the Catholic material religion, and the Marian material religion that we found at all these sites of Velankanni as expressions of the religious nostalgia of the Tamils in Chennai, in Malaysia, and the diasporic community who are displaced and uprooted in one sense or another. So for these people and communities, the pilgrimage site provides a kind of a home space. The rituals also provide a sense of familiarity and a tangible link to the original shrine of Velankanni or India, the home. There's also the sense of filial piety that we found, a strong sense of filial piety to the motherhood of Mary. And that's one of the key reasons that they feel that they need to return every year. In a way, many pilgrims shared that this returning back to the shrine, it's almost as if returning to visit their mom, their mother every year. And it is something that they need to do. And Velankanni shrines, whether in Velankanni, Chennai, and Kuala Lumpur, provide the parishioners, these pilgrims, a sense of belonging. The familiarity of the rituals and the objects provide a sense of comfort, and they are a powerful symbol of the piety that they have to Our Lady. And as emphasized previously as well, another enlightening lesson that we were able to observe is this wonderful, where these sites are an amazing site of interreligious engagement. And the popularity of Mother Mary transcends cultural, linguistics, and religious boundaries. And they're able to draw people of all faiths to participate in the celebrations. When we interviewed a Muslim vendor at Velankanni, and asked him why he continues to return and be a vendor at that site, and he says that I can vouch for the prayers that has been answered over the years at this place. So it is a place that offers individuals from various backgrounds, the materiality, the rituals allow the participation and inclusion of the different cultural and religious other in devotion to Our Lady. So moving on, in terms of this research, we feel that Catholicism or Catholic theology, which tends to usually consider theological ideas and discourses more important than popular Catholicism, these notions need to be revisited and relooked. Because what happens that in theologians and religious elite often perhaps may not emphasize this vernacular or popular religious practices and may consider them as superstitious, superficial, perhaps less civilized, and in some ways dismiss its spiritual importance in enhancing one's faith and drawing one closer to God. But this is not what we observed. These objects, these rituals, provided great spiritual enrichment and played a very important role in drawing these devotees and pilgrims closer to God. So materials and rituals should not be underestimated as a powerful source of even evangelization and spiritual enrichment. So to conclude, Father James.
So friends, we have come to the conclusion of our finding. Our finding our research clearly indicates that materiality plays a very important role in the lives of ordinary Catholics and Christians and the devotees of Mother Mary. Because looking at this materiality that we observed, and through them, we come to understand the depth of Tamil Catholicism and the vernacular version of Marian materialism, which captures people's piety, which captures people's practices to remain strong as Christians, to remain resilient against sufferings and pain with the help of Mother Mary. And it helps people to transcend the boundaries that we have created as human beings, the geographical boundaries, the linguistic boundaries, the religious boundaries, the ethnic boundaries. In a way, Mother Mary brings all of them, all the devotees and people who come to her, to transcend these boundaries. Another important thing that our research has given us is a strong sense of Mary as a mother, a powerful mother. Mother is a very, very important Tamil trope, a Tamil symbol or a Tamil idiom that is present in Tamil people across the globe. Tamil people, as you know, are spread out in various parts of the world. And they could be either rich or poor, they could belong to different caste groups, they could belong to different religious groups. But somehow Mother Mary is seen as a symbol that unites all of them as Tamils. Increasingly, I have seen in my own experience, people in London, in California, as Tamils, when they come together because they are Tamils. They come together to celebrate Marian feasts because it's Mother Mary who helps them to transcend their boundaries as people of a particular caste or a religion. The motherhood of Mary is also space for refuge and comfort. As mentioned earlier, she is a solace for all people who are in suffering and pain. And this idea of motherhood is very concretely embedded in the collective Tamil psyche. Mother is a very, very important theme in Tamil culture. As see it in their homes, as see it in movies, as see it in popular pieties. Last but not least, Mother Mary is also today a living manifestation of God's motherhood. Therefore, she becomes an intercessor for the ordinary people. People believe that she is a powerful intercessor on behalf of each one of them to gain what they what they require to lead a happy life. Thus, Mother Mary is a very, very important agent for God's blessing and grace. My dear friends, we are very happy that we undertook this research, and this research has given us an opportunity to come to know the richness of Tamil vernacular Catholicism that is present both in India and outside India. It is a particular form of popular Catholicism that has relevance for people across religion and across culture and across nations. Thank you.
Thank you, Father. And we also would like to thank all the pilgrims, the churches, the archives and parish websites where we're able to source all the materials and images for this study. And once again, we thank Christe and Deacon Sherman. Thank you, everyone.